So my first question is, what factors most influence teacher satisfaction and like the likelihood of staying at Baltimore Academy?
Their satisfaction and likelihood of staying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for me personally, I saw success in my classroom overall. Like my MCA reports, NWA reports, students grew a lot. I think there was some acknowledgement and appreciation from admin staff too. So I think for teachers, seeing that like appreciation of their hard work, but also seeing the growth from students. I think that's something that I've personally, at least for me.
All right. Next question is, which aspect of the workload contributes the most to like stress or burnout? Is it like behavior?
I would say behavior, and then maybe just like follow through on behavior. Like this is something that I've kind of struggled with like the behavior team, and like the first year, and then we kind of worked it out where it's like if I send a student, because they're disrupting my class, when they leave the class, it shouldn't be more fun for them, like you always hear the jokes of like, oh, I send a kid to the principal's office and they come back with candy, right? And so it's like, so it's like the classroom should be the fun place, and so when the student leaves, it should be them wanting to be back in the classroom.
They don't want to go. That's going to be last resort.
Okay. And so I think that kind of contributes. For the burnout side, I think it's like last year and even kind of this year, we're kind of easing up a little bit, but like the amount of meetings are I don't want to say unnecessary meetings, but like if it can be an email, make an email. If it's a meeting, make sure it has a purpose to it that the teachers walk away with something.
Instead of just being something that can be sent over email. Okay. And then my follow-up question, or my next question, will be, how effective is the current support system for new and returning teachers?
I would say this year, I think we're doing a lot better. We have like 2 instructional coaches this year. We're constantly in the classrooms checking the, meeting with new teachers and making sure that those new teachers have supports. We try to pair up as many new teachers with experienced teachers, just even if the experienced teacher doesn't have experience within the school here, at least they have experience elsewhere. So I think just trying to build some of that.
So essentially, with the new teachers having like a
support system for them, and then we also have we let the new teachers within themselves, all the new teachers, together, and they have some conversations just to share their, expresses or emotions that they feel in their classrooms.
Okay, that's nice. And then my fourth question is, what type of recognition or appreciation had the biggest impact on morale or teacher morale?
I think the basic ones, just like as human beings, we just want to be acknowledged for our daily work, that we put in. So I try to go, and talk to staff and let them know that like, hey, I see you working hard, or I see you doing this, or a great job. You see another teacher's class walking well in the hallways, like, hey, like, great job to your class. I think appreciation from admin for like the outside of work things that we kind of do, where it's like, hey, like you spend 2 hours after school, doing what needs to be done in your classroom. Like, I appreciate you, I see you, thank you for staying later. Just the simple things.
Little things. And then I have 2 more questions for you. So my second to last would be, what changes, even small ones, will make the greatest difference in teacher retention? Because like this school has faced some. That was one big issue, like students seeing a lot of new faces, and that causing like changes within the students as well. What's one thing that we can?
I would say it's a little bit twofold. I think for the teacher retention, I think we have to select the right candidates, and we have to be upfront and honest about the students that we have here. I think we try to be like, oh yeah, like, we have a diverse group of students, but it's like, they're all students, regardless of where you go to school, they're all kids here. And so it's like, yes, it's a diverse population, but it's like, you're gonna see the same problems within here than you do elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I think, like, a lot of staff are like, oh, I didn't know that we had, like, you know, the kids were gonna be, you know, obnoxious, and it's like, well, I get that, but it's also like, they're kids too, you know, and so I think we could be honest, like, hey, yeah, like, we're not any different from any other, you know, schools, like, you're gonna see the same problems here, there's no, you know, students, you know, cussing at teachers or swearing or fighting with teachers, but it's like, you still see the same problems, you know, there's, you know, interpersonal relationships, the kids argue with you, it's gonna be long days, you know, and it's not like easy there, but I think we have to, you know, be honest with staff when we hire them. It's like, hey, like, are you going to meet this challenge? And some of these kids are EL, they are a vast, within one grade level, there's a vast difference of, you know, achievements. But there's still a support system here, like, we have a bunch of services here for them, and you as a teacher don't have to do X, Y, and Z because, you know, somebody else is taking care of that role. I think, so being upfront about the student population that we have here, like, we are working with a diverse group of students, but we see the same problems in the other school wall. And I think selecting the right candidates who can meet that challenge, like, I think we have a high turnover rate because these teachers, I don't think, are necessarily equipped to meet the challenge, to meet the challenge and have the rigor that, you know, a lot of these students need. I think a lot of teachers feel like, because when we tell them, like, oh, we have a diverse group of kids, they are ELL students, they feel two ways. Either they feel like it's an uphill battle that they can't win, you know, or they feel like these students can't do the work. And it's like, they can do the work, you know, they're willing to. I think the students here are willing to do the work, but I think we just have to be upfront and honest with them.
Knowing that even though they're still students, just not sugarcoating, like, the job descriptions that
Yeah,
the hiring process, and let them know, like, exactly what they're getting themselves into, instead of them finding out later on.
Yeah,
I agree with that one. I agree. And then my last question for you is, how valuable would mentorship, coaching, or peer collaboration be for improving teacher experience? Because I know you talked about, like, we have like 2 coaches now, or teacher coaches. So how, like, valuable would that be in just in the sense of to, like, teachers or whatnot?
I would say it's, you know, like, it's very valuable. I think as teachers, like, even in the classroom, like, I think there were things that I was getting stale on, right? Like, you get in a routine of things and you have your way of doing things, and so I think without having that mentorship or without having something to collaborate with, you just get in a rhythm and then you get stale. And I think that's where, like, teachers kind of, like, lose the passion, kind of leads eventually to burnout. It's like, you know, like, they just do the same thing. You know, they wake up and they know they're gonna do the same thing and teach the same lesson. So having that collaboration where it's like, hey, try this or do this, or just having somebody else to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, because I'm not too familiar if you already do this or not, but the teachers also, like, especially because I know Fridays for sure we have those, like, times when we do meetings or whatnot. Teachers that come together and, like, address things, or they just, like, on their own independent.
I think it depends on classes, and it depends on, like, what the teachers want to accomplish. Like, I know in lower elementary, like, on a Fridays, some of the classes will get together and they'll do a lesson, you know, shared lesson, or they'll do a shared fun activity. And then I think, like, even within, like, K1 last or 2 weeks ago, they did a fun activity with all 4 teachers there too. So I think there is a lot of collaboration, and when we have that, you know, mentorship or the collaboration pieces with co-teachers, that's where all these fun activities can happen.
Okay. And then this is like a follow-up question to that. Do you notice the teacher retention more so in middle school than elementary? And why do you think so?
I would say in elementary more so, because, like, I think most teachers they have an idea of what elementary is. I think middle school, it's, you know, the kids you have to find the right person, I think, for middle school, because the kids are growing, they're going through changes, you know, hormonally and physically within themselves. Their friendships are always growing, and they're losing friends, you know, in the next minute. And so I think like to have a strong teachers to find a strong teacher in middle school that can kind of knows how to deal with those four. Right? Like I think a lot of people know how to deal with lower elementary kids and be like nice and friendly and build that relationship. But like middle school, they're all trying to find their own way. And then once you get to like high school, I think they've already found their way. So then, you know, but like it's that middle ground where it's like they're awkward. They still want to be a kid, but they want to be independent, and you have to find the right teachers.
Well, I appreciate it. I feel like I answered
Absolutely.
my questions.
Let me know if you need any more elaboration.
I appreciate you. That's actually very helpful.